How much did you pay for the ticket for the last concert you attended? Were you satisfied with the concert or do you feel like you overpaid? Concert tickets have skyrocketed through the years, and unfortunately, it's becoming harder and harder for fans to see their favorite bands, and it's getting harder and harder for bands to continue this way. The overall experience is creating a real disconnect between fans and artists and bands. And to think all of this happened pre pandemic and it's just getting worse after the pandemic, it's just horrible. I've been going to concerts since the 90s, and tickets were much, much cheaper then. I remember paying $10.99 to see Metallica at the Forum, and although they were nosebleed tickets, if I would have ended up paying $80, I would have had lower level seats or floor seats. So, much, much cheaper. I mean, those were just good times. Unfortunately, ticket prices now are just way through the roof. Gone through the roof. So, back in April of 2022, NBC News did extensive research on why ticket prices are so expensive and found that ticket prices have gone up to as much as 100% due to the rising inflation, and that doesn't include all of the fees involved with the purchase. But because Ticketmaster and Live Nation pretty much have the market cornered, fans are pretty much stuck dealing with it. I mean, it's so sad to even say it. What a monopoly. The article states that ticketing is a fixed game, noting that less than 25% of tickets are actually released to the public, and other tickets are released to holds. Artists, venues, agents, promoters, labels, marketing departments, and sponsors and pre-sales. Ticket brokers then harvest tickets during pre-sales, and those are the ones that end up on the secondary market like StubHub, Vivid Seats, and seriously, it doesn't help that Ticketmaster has also been accused of colluding with ticket scalpers. The article dives pretty deep and also explains the current class action lawsuit from California by Congress members who are trying to separate Live Nation and Ticketmaster to break the monopoly. BBC News also did their own research back in 2019 and found that ticket prices rose 27% then. And in the article, Sound Moves logistics company owner John Core says that concerts have become more about the actual shows rather than the musical performance. Hence, the rise in cost to match the scale. It's obvious as well that live concerts have become a more important source of income for artists and bands to offset downloads and streaming. To further help me find an explanation to higher ticket prices, I decided to prompt ChatGPT to see what type of data it can pull, and ChatGPT identified three main causes. First, the costs associated with producing and promoting concerts have risen significantly, including investment in venues, equipment, and personnel. Second, the growing popularity of live music has created higher demand for tickets, allowing organizers to charge premium prices. Some artists even employ dynamic pricing strategies based on factors like demand and location. Last, the presence of ticket resellers and scalpers in the secondary market takes advantage of fans willing to pay inflated prices for sold out shows or prime seats. On the topic of dynamic pricing, just look at the recent ticket sales for Bruce Springsteen, Blink 182, and Metallica. It's brutal. I'm glad I saw many concerts back in the day when ticket prices were much more affordable, because these days I myself am unfortunately, picking and choosing which shows to go to based on the ticket prices, because seriously, it just sucks. It's so expensive, and it doesn't make sense to just shell out all this money to go to whatever shows I want to. It sucks. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button and make sure to turn on your notifications for the next time I post. It really, really helps increase engagement and the overall algorithm of my channel. So please go ahead and tell all your friends, your family, and your coworkers to help spread the word, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. I then asked the chatbot for other contributing factors that further make concert tickets expensive, and it gave me 5 more contributing factors, which are artist fees, production costs, travel and accommodation costs, marketing and promotion, and ticketing fees. I pretty much understand all of these costs, but there must be a better way for ticketing fees in general because some of these ticketing fees are just abhorrent. Right, Ticketmaster? I mean, take for example the processing fee for a Super Bowl ticket of $1,500 for a 6K ticket. I mean, it's just what in the actual fuck? It's so much. Please note that venues, promoters, and bands also take a cut from the ticketing fees, so this is shared revenue. I then went back to the chatbot to ask what ticket sellers are doing to discourage scalpers. It's one of the main contributing factors, and it gave me pre-sale ticket access, ticket limits, dynamic pricing, verified resale platforms, and anti-bot measures. I unfortunately do not know how this helps with lowering ticket costs since less than 25% of tickets actually sell to the public. I also don't have any data to prove that these actually work in discouraging scalpers. Furthermore, I've seen many complaints on social media about pre-sale tickets not being priced any better. I did want to get a better understanding of how dynamic pricing worked, so I prompted the chatbot to please explain, and it did. Dynamic ticket pricing, also known as demand pricing, is a system where ticket prices fluctuate in real time based on factors like demand, availability, and market conditions. This approach adjusts ticket prices up or down depending on how much potential buyers value the tickets. The pricing is determined by a computer algorithm that considers historical sales, ticket demand, time until the event, and ticket availability. For high demand events with limited tickets, the algorithm may raise prices if tickets are selling quickly or lower them if demand is low and many tickets remain unsold. The objective of dynamic pricing is to maximize revenue for event organizers and sellers while offering an optimal price for consumers. Although some consumers may benefit from lower prices during periods of low demand, others may find it frustrating when prices increase as demand rises. Critics argue that dynamic pricing can lead to price discrimination and unfair practices, particularly affecting lower income individuals who may struggle to afford high-priced tickets. Well, it seems like I've been on both of these ends. When I was trying to buy Metallica tickets for SoFi Stadium, as soon as it went on sale back in November 2022, all I could find was $700 tickets. Looking at tickets now, you can snag one for $300. So I guess this is dynamic pricing. This all seems like unfair pricing, but we are at their mercy, unfortunately, and it sucks. Now, with better understanding of why concert tickets are expensive, I then prompted the chatbot to tell me what type of issues this is causing for both fans and artists, bands, and it stated that high concert ticket prices can present various challenges for fans and bands, artists alike. Fans may find it difficult to afford tickets, limiting their ability to attend concerts, especially for those with limited financial means or in areas with limited access to live music. The high prices can also hinder fans from attending multiple shows or experiencing concerts with friends or family, leading to feelings of exclusion. For bands and artists, the pressure to sell enough tickets to cover production costs can be overwhelming, adding stress and potentially shifting focus towards merchandise sales, which may compromise the concert experience. Moreover, expensive tickets can create a sense of detachment between fans and artists, causing fans to feel priced out and fostering resentment or mistrust. The high cost of concert tickets poses challenges to the live music industry as a whole, necessitating collaboration among industry stakeholders to strike a balance between profitability and creating an inclusive and positive concert atmosphere for fans. Tell that to Godsmack, who had to cancel their South American tour due to low ticket sales. How about the Bamboozle Festival and others who have had to cancel shows and tours due to slow or low ticket sales? Tell that as well to everyone that tried to get Taylor Swift tickets or got obstructed view tickets. Let me just say, by the way, obstructed view tickets are never worth it. Don't even do it. I then wanted to see if the chatbot could give me a solution or give an insight as to what can be done to ease touring costs or lower ticket prices. And it replied with streamline production costs, partner with sponsors, utilize technology, consider alternative venues, work with ticketing companies to combat scalping, and implement tiered pricing. I found the first point to be really interesting because if we go back to the beginning of this, to the BBC interview with John Core of Sound Moves Logistics, this is exactly what he was alluding to. And I can't help but feel that people these days are coming to a show rather than coming to a show to see a musical performance. You see, for people like me who are all about the music and could give two shits about the background, lasers, big screens, pyro, and whatnot, I'm here to listen and feel the music and am perfectly fine with watching the musicians perform their songs without anything else. It could be a black backdrop and the band performing, and I could care less. Point number 3 is an interesting one as well, because I've been wondering why more bands have not found a proper way of utilizing monetized live streaming performances to their advantage. I understand the show can be pirated and it's a huge risk, but I do feel like there has to be a way to make that more lucrative and make it work. I'm also all about number 6. Instead of dynamic pricing, why not go tiered pricing route? I feel like everyone would have a better chance at tickets with this model, especially those with limited financial resources. I then prompted the chatbot for advice on how fans can save money, especially after paying such high costs for ticket prices, and it came up with few solutions. Buy tickets early, look for promotions and discounts, attend smaller shows, bring your own snacks and food, carpool or use public transportation, avoid buying merchandise at the concert, and consider volunteering at the concert. These are pretty good solutions and can definitely work in saving money because let's face it, you are already paying an arm and a leg for the ticket, so, to enjoy the full experience. So some of these could work. I do have to pinpoint that most people will buy the merch, especially if it's a limited, item and not available online. So no matter the cost, people will buy the merch. It's pretty clear to me that expensive tickets are also contributing to the fact that music has become more of the same. If one certain type of music makes all the money, why would labels even bet on other types of music if artists and bands and everyone involved can't earn? If you take a look at this article on financebuzz.com, that shows you about how much each music lovers of each genre budget for concerts, how much they should. It pretty much backs up what I'm saying and why the most generic type of music, pop music, sits at the top. I dig a ton of music, don't get mad, but it is what it is. I think the sad part about high ticket prices and why tickets are so expensive is that as long as fans are willing to pay the price to see their favorite artist or band, high ticket prices will remain expensive. The continued popularity of live concert events and the demand for tickets remains at an all-time high, and it's evident that fans are paying the price to have a memorable experience. I mean, there are financing options and payment plans to help fans afford these tickets, so there is still an obvious amount of fans that don't mind paying for expensive tickets. I guess you can say the price still doesn't trump the satisfaction of seeing your favorite band live. I am guilty of this myself because I will pay a decent amount for a pair of tickets to see my favorite band because, hey, life is fucking short. I want to see the band and I'm going to pay. And I'm all about live concerts. I do budget what I spend, so I do have to pick and choose like I mentioned earlier. But, again, I am willing to pay. Like I mentioned in the beginning, this was not the case back in the day, and I was able to see a ton of shows because it was much more affordable. Times have absolutely changed, but so has spending habits, the price of everything, and the cost of living. There is no turning back, unfortunately, and although I have high hopes that ticket prices will level back down, I also fear that it's probably just going to get worse. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this matter and in the comments below, and would love to know how much you recently paid for a ticket, how much you're willing to pay, and what are your thoughts on why concert tickets are so expensive. Let's hear it in the comments below. Before we wrap up, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and help spread the word. I'll see you next time.